What is going on, ladies and genitals? Jody Slay here, bringing you episode 12 of my Borderlands 2 unique weapon series. Today, I have a unique shotgun for you guys known as the Hydra. In my case, it is the Sidewinder Hydra. In your case, the prefix of this gun may change, but it will be some variation of the Hydra. Now, the Hydra is a gun returning from Borderlands 1. Some of you may recognize that from the first Borderlands, and I think it's pretty cool that a few of these guns they did bring back from the first ones. They were like fan favorites pretty much, and I think it's pretty cool that they actually brought these back. Now, to get this gun from any fast travel location, you're going to want to fast travel to, let's see if I can say this right, Candlerack's Crag. We're going to be taking on Rogue, the guy that kind of looks like Blue. He's that big crystallis type guy, and you got to take out his legs and all that stuff. But once you get to Candlerack's Crag, you can see you'll spawn at the top left-hand part of the map. You want to work your way down here to the bottom within the red circle, and that is where he's going to be located. Now, Rogue is not a very hard boss at all to beat. He's actually, if you remember Blue, he's just as easy. The only thing difference from Blue is there's like some crystals on Rogue's back that you got to take out, and it's kind of like Chromorax from the first Borderlands. It's kind of tough to get that one on his back every once in a while, but it's still not very hard. I take him out with my infinities, as you'll see here. Now, I'm going to be getting a different version of the gun than I actually showed you at the beginning. That's because, you know, from my experience, this gun drops almost every single time, so you shouldn't have a very hard time getting this gun. Now, the first one I just got normally, and I actually had the recording, but it was a recording of me just like randomly fighting him and getting the gun, and I wanted to do it again and get the footage, you know, running from the spawn and show you guys that route to actually get there. Now, here's Rogue. You can see he has the little crystals on his feet, and what I did here is I worked around to get the one on his back. I've got the B shield on. You don't necessarily have to get the B shield. This was my second time beating him. Today, I just did this. I just recorded this morning. The first one, I had the sham on, and, you know, I took him out just as easy, but I threw the B shield on just to see if it'd make it quicker. You can see the gun did drop under his body there. So if you look closely, you can see the gun actually fly up in the air when he dies. But if you do this, check under his body a little bit. You know, it may not like splue out, and it may not be around him. It may be underneath him. In most cases, you should be able to get it. The only thing that would suck is if it lands like right in the middle of the body. So right here, we're going to take a look at the gameplay, but I'm going to read from the wiki really quick. It says, the Hydra is a unique shotgun manufactured by Jacobs. The Hydra can be obtained as a rare drop from Rogue in Candlerack's Crag. Now, the special weapon effects in red text, it says 5 heads of death. Very high pellet count. Forms 5 groupings in a horizontal line. That was like a tongue twister for me for some reason. Now, usage and description. The extremely high pellet count, although at the cost of 3 ammo, make this weapon among the most ammo effective weapons in the game in terms of projectile per ammo used, firing 20 pellets at a time. The spread pattern can almost neutralize this advantage, although it can still be quite effective in dealing with extremely large enemies such as the Warrior, or dealing with multiple targets if multiple critical hit locations are lined up properly. Now, notes for this gun, it says the Hydra is one of the few weapons to return from the original Borderlands with an altered rarity and manufacturer. The Hydra works extremely well with a Necromancer's close enough skill, allowing one to utilize otherwise lost damage potential. So you can see in the gameplay here, and I showed you at the beginning, that it fires 20 pellets at a time, or more than 20, at least 20 pellets, and it does this in 5 patterns spread out horizontally. At the cost of 3 ammo, though, you can see that it has to reload after every 2 shots. But, you know, you're putting out a lot of pellet output, I guess is what you want to say. So you can damage a lot of enemies if there's a lot in abundance in a group. So that's pretty effective. I'd say get a little bit closer than what I'm doing here. You know, the farther away, the farther the spread will be. If you're up close and up tight with these enemies, I'd say you'll probably wipe them out really quickly. As you can see at the beginning of this, I was up close, and I was taking most enemies out with 1 or 2 shots. Now, right there, I put the B shield on. If you can get that B shield to connect, and you can line up those pellet bursts, you can really do a lot of damage with that, 5 or however many pellets were per group. You know, it had those 5 that went out here. But right there was some gameplay taking on normal enemies. It mentioned the Warrior, so I wanted to take on the Warrior and show you guys how effective it would be on him. Now, right here is a field Hydra. It's got 9,100 damage times 20, so it's like one of the more powerful Hydras out there. Now, I do have the B shield, so it is going to give me this bonus amp damage, but as you can see here, it doesn't really do too much to the Warrior. I was really expecting with the pellet output, I was really expecting it to just beast the warrior, but it lacked the overall damage. Of course, you could beat him. You could see I took his health down a little bit there, but compared to like the conference call, heck, any gun really, like the Sandhawk, compared to one of those, it lacked in overall damage output on the warrior. So I definitely wouldn't recommend this. But if you want, if you want a challenge, you want to kill the warrior with something different, this would definitely do it for you. I recommend doing it with, the Sandhawk or something like that. But guys, that wraps up episode 12. Good luck on getting the Hydra from Rogue there and Candle Rags Crag. I like saying that more than once now because I finally got it down. I'm usually like Candle Rags Crack, and I can't ever get it. But, there it is, guys, the Hydra. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will have another one for you this evening. Until then, I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.